Michael Phelps now lays claim to the best Olympic week ever, then after going 8 for 8 here in Beijing.
Leading up to the games, he rarely talked about this notion of trying to best Mark Spitz's records in gold medals in a single Olympics, but you had to know he wanted it. And following the 4x100 medley relay, when that anthem began to play for the 8th and final time, you could see the magnitude of the moment hit him like a ton of gold.
And I think it hit every one of us that was watching as well. The numbers are staggering. 17 swims in all, 8 gold medals, 7 world records, and 1 Olympic record. Phelps won the first swimming event of the Beijing Games, the 400 individual medley, and he won the last. And big surprise, or no big surprise, the governing body of swimming declared Michael Phelps the best swimmer of the meet.
That qualifies as a you think moment. And the man of the morning is with us, 16-time Olympic medalist, 14 golds, Michael Phelps. Good morning and a hearty congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How awesome is all this?
Crazy.
We've got a lot to talk about 8 races to talk about. But first, let's talk about the phone call you just had back in our trailer here.
I just got a call and was on the phone with President Bush, so it was pretty cool. He actually told me to give my mother a hug and say that was from the president. So that was pretty cool, and we just talked for about 5 minutes.
Did he have any specific questions about any of the races?
Nothing really. No, he was. I actually met him after the 400 IM, and he came down onto the pool deck and got to take some pictures and stuff, so it was pretty cool.
I got to tell you, a lot of us are hoarse after cheering you on, and I've got to ask you, after the gold in the 4x100 medley relay, you and the teammates, you guys huddled around each other. What was said in that huddle?
The guys congratulated me, and they said we're a part of history, and after that I sort of started getting a little choked up and was saying, without this, without the teamwork that we had, without the help from you guys, none of this would be possible. So I personally want to thank you guys for all the help that you guys have given me over the past week, and it's an honor to be a part of this team.
Michael, they called you, the announcer called you the greatest Olympian of all time. How can you possibly put that into some sort of perspective?
I don't think everything has hit me quite yet. I think it's starting to more and more. I'm just enjoying myself. This is a dream come true, and I'm loving every minute of it.
It was interesting. You never really wanted to talk about your expectations before you got here. You wanted to leave that up to the media. Now that it's all said and done, what were your expectations? Was it 8 golds or bust?
It was everything went as planned. It was everything was accomplished. The only thing I would have changed was my goggle malfunction, the 200 fly, but
the race you still won.
It happens.
You still got a world record.
And I still did the best time.
Just making sure.
I'm not complaining by any means, but I think I can go faster, and that's something that I'm going to work on over the next 4 years.
Well, take a rest, pal. Just take a rest and enjoy the moment.
I'm going to relax for a bit.
You and the team gave us some real heart-stopping moments. The first one of that 400 freestyle, which I know that seems like an eternity ago, but a great come-from-behind finish. Your buddy Jason Lezak came through in the end. Talk about that moment. Was there a moment of suddenly, hey, we are not invincible, and this thing could come crashing down before it gets started?
After the first 50, I saw how far the French were ahead, and I was like, well, this is gonna be a tough last 50. And Jason started moving the last 15 meters and was closing more and more and more, and that's when Garrett and I just started going nuts, just cheering, and you can tell afterwards all of our emotions just come out of us, and we were yelling, screaming, fists in the air, everything was just, it was emotional, it was a lot of fun.
And then until you got that 8th goal, the conversation here was about that 100-meter butterfly and that incredible 1/100th of a second finish, and I love the look on your face like, did I win?
It took a second. I didn't want to do anything until I saw, who had won, and I knew it was going to be a close race. And as soon as I saw it, I had to turn around and take my goggles off. And then I looked up again and then saw it, and that's when I slapped the water.
But how many times did you look at we've all studied the photos, the still photos, the videos. How many times have you looked at that video?
I actually just saw it today for the first time.
And what was your thought?
Pretty much the same thought I was in Athens. I was like, did that really happen? Like, how did I get my hand on the wall first? So, 4 years ago it was 4 100s, and 2 days ago it was 1 100. So you can't get any closer than that. And I guess I was fortunate enough to get my hand on the wall.
Michael, let's talk about your last race, the 4x100 medley relay. You're walking out onto the pool deck. You're with your other teammates. You know that this is the last race. You know how much is at stake here. Are you talking to each other? Are they saying anything to you? I mean, are you nervous at all? Is it any different than any other race that you've done?
It wasn't really different. You know, we had a men's team meeting, only athletes, no coaches, no staff, and we were in there, and our goal is to win all 3 relays. That's one thing we wanted to do from the start of the meet: get all 3 relays back on our soil, and get the world records back. You know, re-break the world records, do some best times, and coming into today, that's all we wanted to do. You know, we wanted to go out there, we wanted to win, we wanted to keep that relay on American soil and break the world record.
You swim the third leg. Was there any kind of plan, or was it, I'm going to hit the water and go as fast as I can because this is the end of the Olympics?
It was, you know, it was the last race. I hit the water, and I said, you know, this is go time. We got to leave everything in the pool. We talked about that, talked about leaving every single ounce of energy that we had in the pool, and
And you did.
Yeah.
I'm watching that race, and I'm thinking, how would you like to be the other 3 guys in this team? And I mean, they clearly had to feel the pressure. They knew what this not meant to them, not only as a team, but to you as an athlete.
And they did, and you know, one thing, you know, when you're on a relay, you always have to make sure you have safe starts, good safe starts, so you don't false start. And you know, afterwards, the guys were saying, they were like, all the starts were safe, we were all good, everything is safe.
You look like you hesitated a moment to make sure he touched.
You had to, you know, you had to make sure everything was official. We got our hand on the wall first, and but before we really started going crazy.
Have you at all been tempted this week to want to turn to all of us and everybody here and say, you folks need to just chill out and just let me do my thing? I mean, do you read your own press? Do you read that he got 6, he got 7, he might get 8?
I try not to really pay attention to it. You know, when someone does say a comment that, you know, is kind of talking trash a little bit, that fires us up. So that's the only thing that I really see and hear about. Besides that, I just go about it like I'm doing a normal meet. You know, every now, I guess every time when I walk into the pool, the camera would follow me into the pool, and you know, I just had my headphones on, and you know, I was going to the pool to do a job, and that's what I was focused on.
Speaking of those headphones, I can't tell you how many athletes we spoke to this week that are now walking around right before their event listening to headphones, and you ask why, and they say, well, Michael Phelps does it right. These are other athletes that have been training for 4 years. So I read a little bit that your musical playlist includes the Young Jeezy, I'm not even pronouncing it right probably, Lil Wayne, a little Eminem.
A little bit of everybody.
Not so eclectic, this taste in music.
No,
tell me about the iPod choices that you've...
It's usually hip-hop.
Yeah.
That's pretty much usually all it is. It's just been something I've always done, so why change something that works?
Michael, I know you're loving this moment, and everywhere you go, you saw the reception you got from this crowd a moment ago. You're walking on air right now, but how do you handle this? I mean, what happens now?
Just be my normal self. You know, I still, you know, kind of see myself as a normal kid. You know, I'm doing something that I love to do, that I've dreamed of doing, and you know, I'm still the same person who likes to sit and play video games, and I miss my dog, and I can't wait to see my dog. I'm excited to go home.
Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, Carl Lewis, your name is being now mentioned in that's rare air, my friend.
It is, and it's an honor. You know, Michael Jordan is he's a guy I always looked up to growing up, and still do. You know, just because of what he did in the sport of basketball, and he was so clutch in any situation. Same thing with Tiger, and you know, Carl Lewis winning 9 Olympic gold medals. You know, being able to be in the category of those guys is just an honor for me. You know, I watch those guys compete, and you know, it's just cool.
I got to ask you 2 quick questions. How late are you going to sleep in tomorrow, and when's the next time you're going to get into a swimming pool?
I'm not sure when I have to get up tomorrow, when I have to do my next appearance, but
tell me, you can take a little break.
I'm taking a break. I'm not going to be in the swimming pool for a little bit. I'm taking some time off and going to relax and take some vacation.
Hopefully you're going to spend some time with your family. I know you didn't get to see your mom a lot except in the stands.
Yeah.
She's here. We're going to ask you to stick around because we're going to bring your mom on and your sisters and talk a little bit more. Michael, it's a real thrill to have you here, and we're looking forward to continue the conversation.